took.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's what she's going to do. Now,
okay.
Nick, if you open it on multi-track, I was going to say if you open it on multi-track, I can try and see if we can set it up. All right, I'm not editing it this week. It's your turn. I'm just trying to make it easier for you. Time to swear.
Also, Nick, can you turn up as loud as possible?
Yeah, Nick, you might want to drop my gain a little bit. Just a little bit. Not gain, the trim. Definitely not gain. Gain in the middle, trim is what you... The red one is what you fiddle with. Okay, Ben Stiller. Nick, you're a knob. Yeah, it's fine. Ben Stiller was once in...
Nick, can you turn up the speakers as loud as possible?
Right, yeah.
They're literally... It's on the speakers. It's on the speakers, I think.
There's a new thing you gotta do.
The best description. Okay.
Don't you? Hello, this is Nick Harris, Brayford Radio. Brayford
Yeah,
Radio
that's fine.
reporting. Nick Harris.
Good. Yeah, that's alright. I can deal with
What
that.
about when I shout, Jack?
Yeah, sure, you can shout. Well,
I don't feel like shouting today.
hello, my name's Jeff. Old dead meme. Yes. Have a chip.
I would love a chip, thank you.
Hello. Say something. Hi, say something. I'm Dad.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Hello. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. I'll stop recording. Oh. Okay.
Snakes don't hiss, they show up 20 minutes late to a
It's
podcast
not
and
what?
eat chips.
I think I might be alright.
What if I shout?
I was like, yeah, that's alright for me.
That's
Keep on
okay
shouting,
for
Nick.
Jack, I'll keep shouting.
Do you need to do like a new session on Audition, or is it just new audio track
Just
or
click,
just new session?
just click record, and then it will come up with a box for title of your session. Make sure it's in 16-bit though, because that's
16-bit.
16-bit, because that's what Myriad accepts.
Okay, it's 44,100 hertz.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Sit down.
Okay, I'm recording now.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm recording you, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
it's
got him.
My pen. Oh, I'll tell you what I was going to do. I was going to use my laptop so we can have the screen with Jack on it. So
Do we
can
need to
see
see him?
Well, just stop. You know when he's like, I can't see what you're going to say.
really want to see him.
I don't know when you guys were speaking because I can't see because I've got little eyes. So I'll just bring it up on my phone. No, bring it up. Have you got Discord on your phone?
Yeah. But I'm logged
I'm
in
going
on
to turn
there.
off my camera now because there's like no point in me
you're
having it
logged
on.
What?
Pro.
Oh yeah.
I'm logged in on there, so. Don't you feel bad?
Break it down, yeah.
No.
Stop thinking about when.
What?
Nick, when are you not supposed to be thinking about?
What am I talking about?
Sorry, I'm having a moment.
Adam's having a moment.
Okay. I mean, like, I can't see what's going on, so.
Yeah, Jack.
Just...
Well, how do you think blind people feel?
Well, blind people are very nice people, I assume. I never met one.
He knows
but
we're
I'll
recording.
assume they're very happy with their lives.
Are they? I wouldn't be. I'd fucking kill myself.
That's
Well, I'm
next
glad
career in
that
radio.
we
Dwindling
know how
on.
you feel about them.
Oh yeah, Jack, we've come up with this amazing idea to make our show more popular.
Mm-hmm.
We know how controversy sells really well.
Okay.
So we're going to pick fights with
Yeah.
Cinescope.
You know the other cinema show on Brayford, Cinescope.
Oh yeah.
They had, because theirs is more serious and actual reviews and stuff. They had Gabor in as a guest,
Okay.
and I said, let's just get Ewan in and get Ewan to just shit on films with us,
That would be great though.
or like
Do you have-
Graham, or
do
Jack.
Oh yes. Either one of them, to be honest. Do you guys still have Ewan this year?
Yeah.
This...
He missed you.
Where's the small Asian one gone? Dunno, Ewan. He's fucked off, hasn't he? Anyway, are we ready, boys? Do we know what we're doing?
I'm just trying to
I think
find.
so.
the
Have you
chat.
seen
Which
the-
film are we doing first?
I guess we'll start with Pacifier, then end with Tower Heist. But in between, we'll do the game again. Take it back to Quick Make a Movie, and trailers. We'll do Aladdin and Pet Sematary.
Yeah. Oh, were you not doing Tolkien?
You want to talk?
Oh, we can do Tolkien. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
All right.
Have you seen? There's a Frozen 2 trailer out.
Oh yeah, we can mention that because I watched.
I haven't.
That.
I only I skipped through the video. We can do it next week. Obviously, yeah. No, Molly sent it to me, and I was getting food at the time, and so I wasn't going to play the video out. So I just kind of skipped through it and was like, "Oh, animation looks good." Well, yeah, I know, but still, it's just like because Coco's been the latest Disney film that I've seen, so I was like, "Oh, are they going to make it better?" And I don't know whether they will because Coco looks so fucking good. Wait, why is Adam now in it?
You
Because
need to
we can
mute-
see our dumb,
Oh yes.
dumb face.
How do I see both of you at the same time? Why does this not?
You need to mute yourself
Okay.
and turn the volume off on your phone.
Jack?
Hello.
Cock. Why won't it turn down?
Because it's a call. Can't mute a
No, I
call.
did it. No, I didn't.
Well, I'm still hearing myself. Hearing myself. Hearing myself. Hearing
You
myself.
don't have to have it on, Adam. It's fine.
Alright, Jack, just pretend.
Just pretend you can see us
Yeah.
and
Okay.
predict when we're going to start speaking. Is that
Yeah.
okay with you?
Yeah, that should be
No,
fine.
what?
I am
What?
omnipotent.
You've
so...
just interrupted me again. I said you have to pretend to know when I'm going to speak.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
okay.
will.
Well, Jack,
Tell you
you've
what we
just
could
done it
do.
again.
What I'll do is, I'll look over there.
Yeah?
'Cause, yeah, through the monitor.
Okay, let's start. You ready?
Jack, turn your
Yes.
webcam on so I can see you.
No, I'm not turning my camera on
Oh.
because like anybody walking past is just gonna be like, "The
10,
fuck is that guy
9,
doing on
8,
the
7,
random
6,
computer?"
5, 4, 3.
2,
Hello?
1.
Oh, you see
Jack!
you see the problem.
I'm
Jack,
doing the
turn
thing
your webcam
where
on.
you count down and you don't say the last two because you're
Oh, okay.
recording.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
turning my webcam on.
10,
There we go.
9,
webcam boy.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Hello and welcome back to the Bargain Mint. Too loud?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello and welcome back. Hello and welcome back. Okay, ready. 5, 4, 3.
2.
Hello and welcome back to the Bargain Bin podcast. I'm Nick.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jack.
Jack is still in America, unfortunately, but we're doing our best to record this podcast for you and watch some great films and bringing you our opinions on them. So
Indeed.
let's dive straight in with it. This week, first up, we've got the.
You didn't pick which one you want to do first, did you?
No, I haven't got the date or anything.
Oh, do you want to go Pacifier first? Because my first one was.
Yeah, you said Pacifier. It's like a
Pacifier's
2005 film, I think.
2005.
Yep.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to the Bargain Bin podcast. I'm Nick.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jack.
Jack is still in America, as you might have guessed by the audio quality. But
Great, isn't it?
we're doing our best to watch some good films and bring you some reviews. So let's dive straight in with the 2005 classic kids comedy, The Pacifier, starring Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel of Iron Giant and Groot fame. He's reprising his acting abilities in this film.
He does have some ability.
There is acting
of
in
some
it.
kind, yeah.
You can see it in his
Very
eyes.
little, but he does do some occasionally.
I mean, it's a Disney. It's a Disney Channel film.
I
Original?
Yeah, it's a Disney Channel
original.
It's great fun. I remember watching this as a kid and loving it. What about you guys?
The Pacifier, starring Vin Diesel. Let's do a quick plot overview.
Anyone do
first
the
of
plot?
all. Just a quick synopsis.
Wanna do a quick song? Jack, what was the plot of The Pacifier?
Some guy, his name is Shane Wolf, who is Vin Diesel. He is like a Navy SEAL who, he doesn't protect this ambassador or some scientist. He's an important guy, don't know who he is, and when this guy dies, his family is obviously left behind, and so this is the first guy that Vin Diesel has like ever lost whilst on a mission, and so he feels the need to cut that bit.
Editor
Because
note.
I don't
Cut
have the
that
plot up, so this is just like all going off my memory.
Just say he's a Navy SEAL that becomes a babysitter for a week. That's all you need to say, Jack.
Well, no, yeah, all right. Well, I gotta. And
That's
so
literally what I've written
he
here in my
goes
notes.
and protects this guy's family from assassination.
Jack, I can't
and
cut
is
round
basically
that.
just
Just
a
start
babysitter
again.
for a week.
Start again.
Start again.
Are we starting completely again?
Welcome to the.
Okay, Jack, just start that bit again. Right, so Adam's just said, Jack, tell us the plot. 3, 2,
Okay,
1.
so Vin Diesel is a Navy SEAL officer who basically just becomes a babysitter for a week, and he uses all of his Navy SEAL powers to protect this family.
Navy
SEAL
SEAL
powers?
powers? What is it?
Yeah.
Is he a superhero?
Yeah, no, he is. He has all of the superpowers such as kung fu and driving like a maniac.
I can't believe you didn't work in the fact that he has the ability of the Pacifier, which is his one move in this entire film into that.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't use that until like right at the end for like no reason. He just kind of uses that.
Anyway, this film, it's got some funny moments in it.
It's got a duck in it.
Got a duck in it.
It's a duck in it, and it's really not explained.
He's using. I know why the duck is in it.
Ooh,
And
random fact.
that is a very good fact. This film originally was going to star Jackie Chan,
My man.
and the neighbours who fight Vin Diesel in the film are part of Jackie Chan's stunt team. But the reason the duck is in it is because it's the family pet, and the running joke throughout the film was going to be that Jackie Chan wanted to roast and eat the duck. But after Jackie Chan left the project and the script went through changes, they just liked the duck, so they kept it in for no reason. So there's just a duck walking around.
I do love it. I'm glad it serves some plot purpose, and it wasn't just, there's a duck there, isn't it?
And also, after Jackie Chan dropped out, it was between Vin Diesel and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson between who got cast.
Ooh. Do you want a bonus actor who was also nearly the Pacifier?
Who?
It's everyone's favourite rogue cop who's willing to take down terrorists inside a giant plaza. It's Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce
really?
Willis was going to be the Pacifier, which I imagine would be a much darker film.
Yeah.
One that I would have preferred to see, though.
I would like to see an adult version of the Pacifier with Bruce Willis. I don't think you could
Adam
do a
just
PG.
did air quotes then.
Yeah,
this
'cause if you say
is an audio podcast.
Oh yeah. If you say adult film with Bruce Willis, it's an entirely different genre.
Like that Sylvester Stallone one.
Oh,
Let's not go there. Anyway, Vin Diesel teaches these kids different skills. He teaches the daughter
driving.
He teaches the daughter how to drive using
Backwards, yeah.
Navy SEAL techniques. He teaches the son how to sing and dance in the Sound of Musical play he's doing, and he teaches the younger girl who's a Girl Scout. He teaches her how to fight Boy Scouts.
Not just
using,
fight, how to kick the hell out of Boy
using
Scouts.
like Krav Maga and stuff like that.
Krav Maga!
She's like a little John Wick.
Now there's a spin-off. Oh my god.
So Jack,
what if these worlds are connected?
Maybe they could
She
be.
grows up to become an assassin in John Wick.
Ooh, maybe she's Ruby Rose.
You never saw who killed the guy at the beginning. One of John Wick's early assassinations? Discuss.
So, Jack, what was your favourite part of the film?
I have to actually think about this because we saw it so fucking long ago now. And
Let's talk
obviously,
about why we saw it so long ago.
It was
shall
last
we?
week, Jack.
Was it only last week?
It was about a week and a half
Time
ago.
flies.
About
you
10
know,
days.
The speed of time is different in America.
Oh, did they go slower?
Yeah, you gotta remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I work on a different planet.
When you go back several hours, you actually stay in that time. It takes you longer to get 6 hours through.
Oh, that makes
sentence,
sense.
Yeah, that sentence was awful. Also, so we tried to record this last week, and it was one of the worst experiences involving microphones and radio technology I've ever had in my entire life.
Adam was pulling his hair out. This is for? We'll cut this out.
I don't know. It could be funny. It's funny. Keep it in.
Yeah, but we'll go back to
Or
it.
you could just cut out that bit where you say cut it out.
Yeah, Adam, we were in the radio studio, myself and Adam, for about 3 hours. We had Discord running on four different devices.
Yep.
We could either hear Jack or Jack could hear us, but we couldn't get both at the same time. And we had awful echo, and it was awful. And I had a shit day, and I had a headache, and I was very grumpy. And I was sat in the studio by the mic, constantly singing to try and keep my spirits up, while Adam was just fiddling with buttons, tearing his hair out, screaming.
I've never been so confused in my life. We had someone else come in to help us, our friend Joe, and it got
Shout out, Joe.
Shout out to Joe. I don't know if you saw what we were doing in there. We started to draw diagrams of what computer did what, so we could figure it out.
It was awful.
It was like a beautiful mind in there.
Brayford, sort your shit.
We're not even in Brayford Studios.
Yeah, I know, but still.
Yeah, someone's got to blame it, hasn't they? Give us a budget.
Yeah.
If we get a budget, right, I'll fly to America and I'll kidnap Jack and bring him back. It's easier than putting a cable through the wall, apparently.
Anyway, Jack, what was your favourite part of the Pacifier?
My favourite part of the Pacifier, I think, has to be the boxing wrestling match that he has with the teacher near the end, where he uses his signature, the Pacifier move.
What with everyone loves Raymond's brother, Brad Garrett? He's the vice principal in that.
I don't know, but he's like the gym teacher,
Yeah,
and
Brad Garrett.
he's not a nice guy. And Vin Diesel fights him for some reason.
Because he was being a dick for the uncut version, naughty man, in the radio version.
Can you leave a more of a gap, please?
Not annoying person to the son, because the son in this originally is part of the wrestling team, but doesn't actually want to be a wrestler. Secretly, he wants to be
He wants to dance.
Actor.
He wants to be
A
an actor.
thespian.
Although you do think he also wants to be a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, there's this confusion where rather than tell the teachers and Vin Diesel that he's in a production of The Sound of Music, they instead find his Nazi uniform in his locker and he gets into trouble for it. And he still doesn't tell them it's a costume for the play.
Yeah, it's a really also just a dark thing to include as like a weird like twist reveal in a Disney film.
Yeah.
It's very out of place.
It
but
was
it's like,
2005 though. Things were much different back then.
You saying everyone
Yeah,
was
but even
okay
still-
with Nazis in 2005?
No, but I'm saying
Quote
you
that.
could get away with a lot more stuff in 2005.
Or are we going political?
Even still, it was like a tonal shift that you have this like fairly happy-go-lucky film like all throughout for like the first hour, and then there's just like, oh yeah, there's just a little bit of like Nazi imagery in there. Sure, why not?
Yeah, it's a strange one. Sorry, just how long have we been recording for?
I don't know.
I will tell you. Give or take 15 minutes.
All right. Sorry, because we were just a bit under last week. That was all.
Okay. I'll start a timer now.
Yeah, we'll start a timer now.
Start timing.
Well, 15 minutes from when I started recording, so probably about a minute of like, you know, messing about, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So some weird information about this film. One of the characters is called Morgan York. Now, that's only interesting to anyone because she's only ever made 3 films.
One of the characters.
Yeah, one of the actors in it, she plays the youngest daughter.
Oh, right, yeah.
She's called Morgan York. She's only ever been in 3 films that I could find. And it's weird for us because we've watched all of them.
Have we?
Yep, she's in The Pacifier, Cheaper by the Dozen 1, and Cheaper by the Dozen 2.
Oh yeah.
And that's it.
Have we talked about Cheaper by the Dozen on the podcast?
I think we have, but it's all blurring into
so.
one at this point.
If we haven't, well, you can check for us, audience. Go to YouTube and search Adam, Jack and Nick's films.
Or you can search the Bargain Bin,
Or you
because
can
we're at
search
the top now.
the Bargain Bin podcast and go back, listen to all the episodes, like and subscribe, and tell us, get in contact
thebargainbin@gmail.com.
and tell us whether we've covered Cheaper by the Dozen. And if we haven't, tell us if you want us to.
Because I like them.
There.
I don't want to rewatch them. I really don't want to rewatch them.
I want to make Jack rewatch them.
Yeah.
So
If you say
email
yes,
in.
Jack has to rewatch them, so it's worth doing that.
Thing is, I can't stand Steve Martin. I actually can't.
You don't like the
he
Pink Panther
genuinely
movies?
annoys me.
I love the Pink Panther movies.
Steve Martin is a guy. That's how I'd
I
describe
like him. It's like a fun... He's like plane films. You know, you just watch them on planes.
Or you could sleep on a plane.
What
Or
if
you
you're
could
traveling
literally
to
do anything
America?
else on a plane.
Can't just sleep for... How long did it take to get to America, Jack?
Yeah, Jack, how long did it take to get to America?
9 hours to Charlotte, and then another 3 hours to where I am now.
And how long?
Missouri.
How long did it take you to get through airport security? Looking how you do.
Surprisingly, not that long. I thought they
4
were
hours.
going to pull me aside and do a cavity search on me, but they didn't. Surprisingly,
It's a shame. We told him to.
Yeah, we did. We sent an email forward saying, watch out for this one.
he is terrorist.
He's got ties to North Korea. So some more interesting facts about the Pacifier. The director, Adam Shankman, great name. He's made a few films in his time. Very diverse films. So he's made the Pacifier. He's also made Step Up,
Ooh.
the first one. He made Hairspray, the film,
Yeah,
which I like.
I
I really
like
like. That's
Yeah,
one of my
Hairspray's
guilty,
alright.
one of my guilty
Hairspray's
pleasures.
I don't like musicals, but that's actually okay.
Hairspray's a fun musical.
He's also made Cheaper by the Dozen 2.
Oh.
And he's also, he's got a film coming out quite soon, which is a semi-remake, semi-parody, I guess, new interpretation of whatever, of that Nancy Meyers film, which I hate.
Nancy Meyer.
Yeah, Nancy Meyer, who did The Holiday. She also made a film called What Women Want. Have you ever seen that one with Mel Gibson?
Are you talking about What Men Want?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's making What Men Want, which is the adverse effect, I guess.
Isn't it got, what's his name? Tracy Chapman, isn't it? Isn't it?
Maybe.
No.
Didn't you do Cars? Is a song.
The song Cars.
Yeah.
No clue.
No, oh yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
Has it got her in it?
No, Tracy Morgan, that's the one.
Yeah, it's got Tracy Morgan in it.
Tracy Morgan. I don't know why I said Tracy Chapman.
Do you want to just say, has it got Tracy Morgan in it?
Okay. It's got Tracy Morgan in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it does. So it's kind of this, I don't know, I don't feel okay with it. I guess it's a weird one. Semi-remaking, parodying an old-style Nancy Meyers film, which isn't very good to begin with. But the trailer's pretty intense. It's like, oh, I'm a bit offended in a weird, it's just not right. It doesn't feel
fine
good.
though, because it's sexism against men, so that's fine. Let's not go into that.
That's cut from the. Anyway, I don't think this film's going to do very well. It screams. So yeah, hit and miss this kind of guy.
I guess they never miss, huh?
Huh? That's the second week running we've got that joke in.
You want to know an interesting fact about the Pacifier?
Oh, thanks for the applause. Yeah.
James Gunn watched this film while he was in hospital in 2006.
I think that's actually the first time in 6 episodes we've done where it's not been me that's mentioned James Gunn.
Yeah, thought might
Switch
as
it
well
up a
beat
little
you to
bit.
it
Switch
this
it up.
week.
Oh, and the song for this film, made by Smash Mouth.
Oh God, it was in the era where Smash Mouth was a thing, and they were doing film soundtracks.
I think Smash Mouth should
Yeah,
come back.
didn't they do the song for Cheaper by the Dozen as well?
Maybe Adam Shankman's just got to deal with them where he has to make.
Maybe was Adam Shankman involved in Shrek anyhow?
Can we get some fact checking for our American correspondent, please?
And over to our American correspondent,
That's you, Jack.
Jack.
Yes. Oh wait, no. I realised it wasn't Cheaper by the Dozen. It was Sum 41, not.
Oh yeah, Sum 41
They're
did
all
do
they
Cheaper by
blend
the-
into the same.
They're all the same.
they
Early
all sound the
2000s,
same.
like 12-year-old emo punk.
I love them. I'm so glad, because last week what you decided to do was do that in the middle of either me speaking or Jack speaking, or once when you were speaking. So I couldn't cut that out. It made a lot of money, this. It made... Was that your stomach?
No, that was my throat. It was like resetting. That was really weird.
So this film made a fair whack of money, I think, especially for a Disney Channel TV film release. It made about 3 times its own budget. So it was $56 million for the budget. Is your throat going to go off again?
My throat keeps making weird noises. I'm scared. I can feel it. It's like bubbling inside my throat. I don't know what's going on.
You're going to sneeze really, really violently.
Wait, let me cough. Let me take a sip of water.
We're sponsored by Oh my...
Shh, nothing happened.
I thought that went on the microphones. Sponsored by Buxton this week,
Sponsored
aren't
by
we?
Buxton Water. Delicious and fresh.
And remember, if you want to sponsor the show and give me money...
Please do. You can literally sponsor us for a tenner. I'll take a tenner.
Look, I need razors.
I'll take free food.
I need razors, I need a mattress, and I like Audible. So if any of you three want to get involved in this...
Here's my sort code. Just send me money.
I'm not going to have to cut out your important information again, are we?
No, not again. All right. Anyway, you were saying before my throat interrupted you.
So yeah, this film for a Disney Channel release made a fair whack of money, I think. It made about 3 times its budget, so its budget was $56 million. Oh my god, it did it again.
You don't know what's going on.
This episode's just going to turn into, what does your throat do now?
I mean, screw the films. Let's just have a medical discussion about my throat.
He is a miracle of modern miracle.
I don't know how I'm still alive.
That sentence just
I can
stopped.
be one of those online doctors that diagnoses you online.
He's got
Okay,
cancer.
Jack.
Over the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Tangent. Let's do it. This is staying in.
Yeah, I know, it's funny, isn't it?
Okay. So, Jack, listen to this.
Okay.
We have to wait till it does it again.
Shall I just, while we wait, shall I just fill with some inane commentary?
Yeah.
Hey, I bet you they don't do this on Cinescope. That's right. This is the real film.
Yeah, Cinescope. Come at us. We want a 1v1. We want to play
3v3.
We want to play you at Quick Make a Game.
Oh yeah, bring them in. Are there any of film-based games we can do in real life where we can
Trivia.
Trivial Pursuit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be up for that, to be fair.
Film that.
I mean, you'd have
go on our
to
show.
put me on a little laptop, and I'd just sit there,
At the Cinescope boys, come at us if you're listening to this.
which
Fight
you
us.
definitely aren't.
Fight us.
Imagine-
You think you're all cool and serious discussing why Roma's got so many nominations for the Oscars? We're talking about the Pacifier with Vin Diesel.
No, we're not. We're currently talking about your throat and its weird noises it makes.
We're talking about my throat and the weird noises it makes because we're a serious film podcast. You think you can beat us? You think with your flipping Monday afternoon spot you can get more viewers than us? We're Sunday night.
What?
We're Sunday night.
Did you hear that? I think Jack wants to box them. All of them in the ring. Just Jack on his
I'm
own.
hearing-
All of them at once.
I'm hearing
I
live.
just need, all I need is a chair.
Hearing live from our American correspondent that he has started training boxing.
Mhm.
Wow! What
Wow.
what a great
I'll
We
input!
set you up for that joke, Jack,
What a
didn't
great
we?
input. Anyway, back to the Pacifier.
Pacifier. I had a really good point that I can't remember now. Oh yeah, right. This I think is the best fact we're ever going to have on this show. Ever, unless
Ever?
Jack turns out to be, I don't know. Can't say that joke. that was going to be a. Oh, okay. I was going to say he was a transsexual.
Not again.
Basically, if you work this out as from release to DVD sales, right? This film is the highest in that category ever of best-selling DVDs from release date of DVDs to now, because there's a guy in Australia who has 1,000.
Stop. My audition.
I pissed myself.
My audition has fucked me.
Well, I mean, are we recording
yeah, we're
Jack on our end?
yeah,
we're
yeah.
recording you on our end, so it's
Alright, no,
fine.
I have the file. It's a 25-minute file, but it said that audition's primary temp volume is low on disk space. Freeing up space or specifying a different volume is recommended. What the fuck does that mean?
I love doing audio technician stuff in our show. Oh, just cut it out, Jack. Just stop recording.
Just
we're
stop
fine
recording. We've got you on our end.
Yeah.
We'll just do it all on the same track. It's
You
fine.
sure?
Yeah,
I mean, like, I can just like.
You're not
put it
cutting
in
out as
location.
bad as you were first week.
Jack, I'm editing this week, so I don't care if it overlaps and sounds shit.
I do.
No, I do really.
Yeah, I've put this in like my LinkedIn as podcast host.
I don't even know where it saved it to.
Jack, it doesn't matter. Close audition
No.
and let
'cause
Adam
I've still
finish
got-
his
I've still
point
got
about
fucking
this
file
man with
somewhere.
DVDs.
I'll tell you what,
Wait,
I'm going to
did I put it in the
restart it because I've
fucking
read it and I
weather
was saying it
reports?
wrong anyway.
Yeah.
I actually wrote a joke in that.
You write jokes for this?
Well, I just said Australia land, and I thought that was funny.
No, I'd leave that out.
And I'll say Australia land, and you can choose
I'll
if you
cut
want
it.
that in.
I'll cut it.
The extended cut can have the joke.
No, I'm going to take that out, the uncut version as well.
Oh, no, you should take out the uncut version, but keep it in the cut version.
Adam snaked me last week. I promised you all a long time ago that the uncut version would be literally uncut, and Adam cut out something I said.
What a dickhead.
Oh, I just thought I'd save some face for Nick and the horrible, horrible things he was screaming into the microphone.
What was I saying, Adam?
You were saying some very deflammatory statements about people that are in
America currently.
America, people that are not men, people that basically you're offending women, and of course some people in high-ranking positions in an institute of learning, which I thought might serve not being in recorded format.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough.
That's like talking to a lawyer there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh!
A lot of people are paedophiles, are they, Nick?
Let's not go there. I don't want to have to cut the uncut version.
Oh. Right, are we okay, Jack?
Jack, have you finished having a nightmare now?
I'm saving this.
I've got to get rid of
somewhere.
all my porn just so I can have more audio space on my small Mac. When you get a
Well, I'm
radio
saying-
studio, I want you to do you're going to have to do it from your end, what we're doing here. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
show up 20 minutes late eating a bowl of chips
On
and
headphones.
then cut the recording halfway through to piss about with a Mac storage system. How do you
I
like
don't know
it?
why it. I
How
don't know why it did
listen
it.
to this. Listen to this.
Get owned, son.
Get fucked.
Okay.
Remember, this is
Oh.
not safe for work audio. Well, it depends if your workplace is okay with it. 21st century, people are much
Yeah.
more accommodating with swearing these days.
They are.
Hmm.
Just understand. Sometimes you just gotta drop an F-bomb. Not that one, Jack. I'll cut that one out from the
Okay,
uncut
cool.
version. Jesus.
I think I've got it working again. I've
By
just
that you
created a
mean
new file, so
you
it's
don't
going to be in two files.
You don't have to
Whatever.
record.
Jack, just stop recording.
It's not cutting out as bad as
Doesn't
it was in
matter.
the first
It's
week.
not cutting out at all, so we don't really need it.
Okay. Okay, fine. Well, your loss if it fucks up.
So yeah, anyway, one last fact, because honestly we're rinsing the Pacifier for all it's got. There's not much in it.
No.
It's a great film, but there's not much in it.
Not much we can discuss, really.
So there's a guy in Australia land who owns 1,500-ish, but probably more at this point, copies making of the Pacifier.
Why?
Well, you'll see why. Well, it's like making it the third place in DVD sales in relation to year of release since it came out to now, ever. So,
That's
like, you can
That's
think.
ridiculous.
Let's think of like all these amazing films that have come out. You think stuff that's made billions, like Avatar and stuff, right? You can have all of that, stuff. But you've still got third place being
And the Pacifier's
the Pacifier.
third.
Yeah.
I mean, there were quite a few copies of it at our local bargain bin store.
Yeah, but this
I
guy's got
remember
1,000.
My grandmother has a copy of this on DVD.
I just want to go to this guy's house because I imagine it's like wallpaper. It'd be terrifying looking at Dwayne looking back at you.
Dwayne, excuse me.
Oh no! he did it!
What is this disrespect?
Oh.
Dwayne? I think you mean Vin Diesel.
Oh, he's also got loads of copies of Fast and Furious.
Yeah, nice save.
That's how you save. What else has he been in? Jumanji.
WrestleMania 2003.
What's that one that came out about the giant gorilla?
King Kong?
No, the Rampage.
Oh, the one based on the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who's really good in Rampage? Tangent. Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Yeah.
He just goes for it 100% in that film.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is great in everything.
He's on next week on the show.
He's on. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is joining us next week.
Because Jack's in America, he's got connections
Yeah.
now. Next week, Jack, you got to do an impression of him.
And stay tuned. We're currently on episode 6 of the Bargain
This
Bin.
is episode 6, yeah.
In episode 12, Jack is going to bring us Bill Murray live. That's his task. In the next 6 weeks, he has to find Bill Murray and convince him to come on this podcast.
And if he doesn't, we're going to send a crack team of
Navy SEALs.
Navy SEALs, all of whom know the pacifier technique.
And they're each going to individually pacify a Jack.
Over and over and over again. Unless we get Bill Murray. Or the groundhog from Groundhog Day.
Oh, not Tuscany Phil. Something Phil. What's his name? What's the groundhog's name?
Jack?
The character's name is Phil. What's the groundhog called? The groundhog's got a name. It's really going to annoy me now. Sorry, I've got to look this up.
This is staying in as well. Got anything else? No pacifier?
The groundhog from Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
You mean Puxatawny Phil, seer of seers, sage of sages, prognosticator of prognosticators, and weather prophet extraordinaire.
I bet you can't do that again, but do it so fast like you're not even reading it. I won't look at you. I'll let you have this one.
The groundhog from Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
mean Punxsutawney Phil, seer of seers, sage of sages, prognosticator of prognosticators, and weather prophet of extraordinaire?
Very good. And you pulled that right off the top of your head.
His full name.
That's impressive. That's so impressive. Do you know what you should do?
What?
You should subscribe to this channel. I'm assuming this is going in the uncut version.
No.
Oh, you're going to keep that?
Punxsutawney Phil. Everyone loves Punxsutawney Phil.
Well, you should tune in next week to hear us talk about it again. Oh, let's watch Groundhog Day some point.
Let's not. I rewatched that last year. It's really not as good as you remember.
Why do you have to
I've
keep
never seen
rewatching
it,
it? You've never seen
so-
Groundhog
Oh,
Day?
Groundhog Day. It's one of those films you have to see, but it's not aged well.
I think it's a fun.
It's fun.
Wrong.
It's great the first time you watch it, but
Oh, is
I
it?
would not recommend rewatching because you're just like, I
fair
know
enough.
exactly where this is going. I know exactly what's happened. It's not got much rewatchability.
Oh, fair enough. Well, no, Jack's got a point.
I was just going to say, moving on to trailers.
We're going to move on to trailers now, or we got something else in between?
I mean,
hold-
I think
hold
we're pushing
on.
it the amount that we.
Hold on,
we
hold on.
have the
Nick's got
pacifier.
something.
Moving on to trailers.
Trailers.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Jack, can you not swear after I've done the transition? Right, I'm going to say it again. Jack, just do not speak until we say your name again.
We're going to forget that. You realise? And just like, well, you said say my name. You didn't say my name for the whole thing. And now I'm just sitting here looking like a dick.
Okay,
Shh. It's a good impression.
quiet on set. Sparking.
Oh, my eyes. Oh. That's a callback to a story no one apart from us three knows. He's gone cross-eyed.
So, that was our discussion on the pacifier. Time to move on to our obligatory scoring system.
Oh, yeah.
Our patented
Patent pending. Break it down, yeah.
Scoring system for
So we got
films
Dead
on the
Mouse to edit this episode.
scoring system on the Bargain Bin podcast. Adam Dokhan, how many family-owned pet ducks out of 10 would you give this film?
I would give this film 6 family ducks out of 10 because I thought it was quackers. That's enough dead air.
Yeah. Jack, how many Navy SEALs out of 10 would you give it?
I'd give it a solid 5 Navy SEALs out of 10.
And Nick, because we actually haven't mentioned what the entire motivation of this film was, how many ghost programs out of 10 would you give it?
I would give it 5 ghost programs out of 10. But only because the 6th one is hidden in my basement around an elaborate trap system which involves a child's nursery rhyme. Go watch The Pacifier, folks. That's what you're in for.
I'm so glad, because I realised towards the end of this section that we haven't talked about
The
anything
Pacifier
at all.
Oh well, time now to move on to our game.
Game.
Quick, make a game.
Jack, theme tune.
Quick.
Yes, game. Woo, game.
It's been a few weeks, I think, since we've done this.
Yeah. Well, we didn't do it before Christmas.
We didn't do. We did a few times.
That's what I meant. We haven't done it
since before Christmas.
Till we had a
And
little
I don't know
hiatus.
when the last time we did this was, but it's quick, make a movie. Two of us will say at the same time the name of a character, a location, or just a film or TV show in general, and the other one has to combine the two into a 1-minute elevator pitch for a new movie. This week, who's gonna have a go this week?
I think you're gonna have a go, Nick.
Okay, I'm gonna have a go. So Adam and Jack are both gonna say the name of something, and I'm gonna come up with an elevator pitch.
Okay. Would you like the name of the character as well as the actor that played it, just so you can get into the frame of reference of who it is, or would you just want the character's name?
Just the character, and then if I'm not sure, I'll ask.
All right then.
Why have you got some character who's got multiple actors? But I prefer the choice.
No, I've got it. It's just mine is different.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, right. So it's going to be a bit weird with the delay, so I guess we'll go one at a time. So
Yeah.
Jack,
Jack
what is
can
your
go first.
word?
Mine is Rocket Raccoon.
Okay, Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers. And Adam, yours is?
Mahatma Gandhi, played by Ben Kingsley. Just in case you couldn't quite remember.
No. Yeah, I remember. So Mahatma Gandhi,
Played by Ben Kingsley.
played by Ben Kingsley, wakes up one morning. He looks out his window and the street is empty. There's piles of dust everywhere. He's alone. He doesn't know what's happening. Psh! There's a light in the sky. This little ship comes and crash lands in front of him, and out of it comes this talking raccoon readjusting his tight leather trousers so his junk isn't squashed. He says, "Hey, I'm Rocket Raccoon. Everyone's dead." And Mahatma Gandhi says, I was about to.
That's why it's funny.
I was about to. Mahatma Gandhi says, "What's happened?" No, I can't do it without laughing now. Don't look at me.
And that's why I was smiling when you said Rocket Raccoon. You can't. You can do an impression of Bradley Cooper, but you can't do an impression of Ben Kingsley doing an impression of Gandhi.
So Mahatma Gandhi asks Rocket, what the hell's going on? Why is there dust everywhere? And Rocket explains the situation about what's happened with Thanos and the Infinity Stones and how everyone's been turned to dust. So Mahatma Gandhi and Rocket Raccoon team up. They get in this spaceship and they go off to space. They beat up some aliens and they find Thanos at his farm place. And Mahatma Gandhi sits down with Thanos in his hut and has a 4-hour-long conversation explaining to him the ways of the world and like eye for an eye and all that stuff. And Thanos comes out a changed man, and he undoes the snap, and everyone comes back alive, and that's Avengers Endgame. That's what I'm calling. That's what I'm calling it.
Dun, dun.
Da, da, da. Is that?
Okay.
I realised with the delay it was less funny because
Yeah, it
you
wasn't
just got
funny
to keep
anyway,
on
Jack.
talking.
I really hope you keep in
I'll go
some
get
of that.
Sudoku.
You keep in some of you pausing because you can't do an impression.
Okay, that was quick. Make a movie, guys.
Jack?
What did you think? What do you think of my movie?
I really enjoyed it. I'll give you credit where credit's due. I did give you a hard one this week, and you really pulled that one off.
And you came up with it pretty fast. Like I'm quite impressed how quickly you didn't pause. You were just like straight into it.
Yeah, I'm always straight into it.
Let's go big or go home, Jack.
Anyway, it's trailer time.
Wait, hold on.
Trailers.
That's the end of the game. Jack, outro theme tune.
Dun 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 dun.
Thanks, Jack. It's time now for trailers.
Trailers.
Trailers of the week.
Oh, I'm not allowed to say yo in one of my things, but you're allowed to do a rap.
Yeah. It's time for trailers.
It's trailers time.
Trailers of the week.
Just turning over my page to the trailer section.
So the 3 trailers we're going to look at this week are
Pet Cemetery.
Aladdin.
There's 3 of us, Jack, and we're watching 3 trailers. I think it's your turn.
Wait,
Tolkien.
What?
You have to say
Oh.
Tolkien.
what? I have to.
We're
I'm so
watching.
Adam! Jack! There's
Yes.
3 trailers, right?
Why did you
We're
get our names wrong?
I got your names wrong because I'm so mad. I said this week we're looking at Adam said Pet Cemetery. I said Aladdin. Then you say
No.
Tolkien. You don't leave dead air, Jack.
Oh yeah, Tolkien. Sorry, I thought you said both of them. Okay, we can do it again.
Okay,
Although,
I'm starting
Can I
again.
do Aladdin?
No.
Because you don't want to say Tolkien. Right, hold on. Come out of game. Right.
This week, the trailers we're looking at are
Pet Cemetery.
Aladdin.
And Tolkien.
So let's start with Pet Cemetery, I guess.
Yeah, so I am a fan of Stephen King because I understand his work's really good. I don't read his stuff because it's too scary.
Too scary for you.
Yeah, I don't like scary
spooky.
stuff. I like the films, but I like them at a distance where they're not going to scare me. And it's pretty spooky. Not a fan of the spook.
It could be pretty spooky. I've
Yeah.
not read Pet Cemetery yet. I do want to though. Try and read it before the film's out, which is quite soon.
Yeah.
So maybe not. But
Is it a big one?
it's
Like it?
not too.
I
big.
don't think so. I think it's like
not
200 pages.
Oh, that's all right.
But yeah, it's about this family that moved to a new house and they find in the woods nearby a pet cemetery, and their cat dies, but then somehow comes back to life, and basically people start coming back to life as well. It's a classic It's a classic Stephen King spooky story. The thing is, though, with this trailer, I hated this trailer because it pretty much gave away the whole movie.
Now, because we haven't read the book, and I know it's a trend with trailers these days where they do give away a lot, but do you think it could be the old, there's more to it than meets the eye? Or do you think that's kind of...
Well, no, because if that's the case, then all the stuff in the trailer would have to happen within the first 40 minutes of the movie for any of it to not be like in the territory of giving away the whole movie. But by the looks of it, they've pretty much gone through the story beat by beat in the trailer right up until probably the last 20 minutes of the movie, which is really annoying because with this kind of thing, I don't really want spoilers.
I guess with a horror movie, you want some space. Or
But
an intense film like this.
You'll still see it. It'll still be good. The thing is, though, that I'm worried about, with the success of it and with the hype now around Pet Sematary, I'm worried that every single Stephen King book is going to get an adaptation like this.
Or a remake.
Or a remake. I'm worried that they're going to
Would that be a bad thing, though?
Not necessarily, but I feel like it would become a bad thing. If they're bringing out a Stephen King adaptation every 2 years, people are going to get burnt out on it. It's going to lose its kind of like lose the charm, not the charm of it, but you know what I mean.
I can kind of agree with that. But isn't his work quite a bit diverse? I mean, they're all spoopy, but is there some kind
There is diversity within it, but you've had Castle Rock TV show from 2018, which is based on his work as well, with all his characters in it. Based off, the town, the prison, Castle Rock, from the town in which most of his books are set, I think. But I'm worried that now, if Pet Sematary is a huge success and It Part 2 is obviously going to be a huge success, they're just going to go through, studios are going to go through every single Stephen King book they can get their hands on and just turn it into quick money, which is kind of annoying because I'd want them to be taken time with and I want them done well, but it looks the way of
this is what I thought with this one was there are some bits, and when's it released? Is it at some point this year?
It's this summer. I think it's
so
April.
It's still got some time for some touch-ups, but there are some moments quite, I think, early on-ish in the trailer where it's clearly a CGI'd forest backdrop in some sections. Well, they're looking over the forest. It's
great.
Just not quite finished. I mean, it's obviously not finished properly, but there is I don't know. I've noticed it a lot with trailers these days. They are not finalising the CG to a point where you're like, oh, that's okay. I would watch that. There's a real latency to do that these days, and I felt that quite a lot, especially in the next trailer we talk about as well. There's some bits in that where I thought, oh, even for such a big company, I wouldn't have risked such what I would feel low-level CG. But I do like I like the atmosphere from the trailer. I was like, oh, the masks are very spoopy. I tell you what,
the drums as well.
Oh, the drums,
like the slow drumming, that's really, really nice.
I like Stephen King did that book about the car, right? That they copied in Futurama, the evil car, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Have they made that?
I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
but...
begins with a C, I think.
Cars
2. Yeah, Cars, Stephen King wrote Cars too. Oh, that'd be a different film, wouldn't
That
it?
would be a different
Be a
film.
better film. I don't know. I would want to see something like that, just because it's not a ghost or a person or a spirit. It's a car.
Something like Misery, where it's just a
I'm pretty
person.
sure. I'm pretty sure the car one. Sorry to interrupt. I'm pretty sure the car one is a spirit that possessed a car.
Yeah, but it's not possessing a person. It's possessing a big. It's like Rubber, the film, where they made a tire, a villain.
Oh, that's.
I want to see that with a
film.
car and like it done seriously, because the only thing that's ever got a car in it, which is evil, is a Transformer. So I kind of want to see how they would handle that. I think that'd be a much more interesting and challenging route to go to instead of spooky ghosts.
I just hope whatever they do, they don't remake The Shining.
Oh well, he's writing a follow-up book.
He never liked The Shining.
No, Doctor Sleep is kind of a sequel to The Shining. That's been out for ages.
Oh, is it? I
Yeah.
swear he's writing. Is that when Danny's all grown up?
I think so. I know Doctor
Oh,
Sleep
okay.
is a follow-on from The Shining.
That's kind of cool.
Well, because I heard that he was writing another one. So
Maybe he's writing a third one.
If they remake
Maybe.
the Shining, I imagine he would have a hand writing it, because it's famous that he hasn't watched it because he hated the idea
Yeah.
of them doing it in a film.
yeah, because Kubrick decided I'm going to do my own thing.
This depends on how well you know The Shining. The very opening scene, the car that they're driving in, there was a famous dispute between the two of them. One of them wanted it yellow, one of them wanted it red. And Kubrick obviously changed it at the last minute, so they couldn't change it in production. And later on, you see the car that I've forgotten his name now. Stephen King wanted. That car is underneath a lorry in the car crash bit as they're driving through the snow, just so he could I'll put your car in the film in this really non-specific role. So I imagine if they do it, he'll have a hand in the writing of the script, which would be kind of cool. Well, you'd hope so anyway.
Could be. Anyway, Pet Sematary looks pretty good.
Pretty
but
spooky.
Disappointed that the trailer gave so much away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on
Right.
to... Oh, wait, Jack, what do you want to say?
No, I was gonna do the transition. So
Okay, go for it.
okay. Moving on to our next film, Avatar 2. I mean Aladdin.
Jack?
You cut out.
Oh fuck!
Just let us handle the transitions,
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
little boy?
I like your joke, because all I was going to go was da 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 da.
Moving on to
Go
our
on.
next...
And that Jack, we'll cue you in.
Jack,
You
we'll
tell
cue
your
you in.
joke.
We'll cue you in.
Fuck.
We'll cue you in.
Fuck's sake.
Moving on to our next trailer.
Aladdin 2. What the... Jack,
you
you've
did
got
it.
me all fucked up.
You do it. I'll cue him in. He says his joke.
What?
Moving on. It was somewhat funny. I'll cover it with the song.
Wait, can he hear us?
Yes.
Jack, can you hear us?
Okay.
We're not doing it.
Clever girl.
Moving on to our next trailer, Aladdin.
I gave you a chance there, Jack. Da da
Oh, okay.
da
Duh,
da
duh.
da da da.
Let's...
Duh.
Use
Moving,
that one.
Yeah.
moving on to our next trailer, Aladdin. Live action remake of Aladdin. Meh,
Yeah. Aladdin's one of my favourite ones because
because you are
I am Aladdin.
Aladdin.
It was actually probably one of the names I was going to be called.
Was it really?
Aladdin. Fun fact, right? Aladdin, Sinbad, yeah,
Yeah.
Harry, Adam.
They went for Adam Jamie Dokhan instead.
My sister called me Adam. She was like, "Oh no, let's not get him bullied. Let's call him Adam."
I would have loved for you
Someone
to
was
be
looking
called
out for you.
Sinbad.
I would have fucking owned it.
If you were called Sinbad, you would never hear the end of it.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be opening doors. I'd be kicking them open. Saying, I am Sinbad.
Anyway, I guess the main... I mean, you know what we're going to say about Disney live-action remakes. We've had this discussion before.
Some of them are good. Some of them make no money at all.
We've had this discussion before, but let's speak about Will Smith's Genie. I guess that's the main talking point.
It reminded me of that film with Dwayne The Rock Johnson where he plays the Scorpion.
Scorpion King.
Yeah, Scorpion King.
Yeah,
Reminded me of
because
that.
the CGI is probably about that good.
But like I said earlier with Pet Sematary, I think it's going to be one of those things where once it's a few months away.
Yeah.
It is this year. But once, people see the reaction, they'll go, right, let's just cover it in smoke, make it all magical. And I think it might work. Might.
I still don't think it will.
I think-
I really don't.
I think it looks awful.
I think he's a bit too
Yeah.
solid. I think he should be a little bit see-through, personally.
What they should have done is just had a fully CG character and had Will Smith voice it, not plaster Will Smith's face onto the CG character.
Yeah, it's pretty weird that they decided that. Yeah, that's what we're going to go for.
What are they going to do for the monkey?
The monkey's little CG character.
Okay.
The monkey and
He's
the
CG.
carpet
He's
are
on
both
his
CG.
show.
Yeah, I saw the
Sure.
carpet. I can't remember the monkey at all. But I'm kind of excited for this, mainly because Hot Jafar.
Jafar, yeah, but Jafar looks like a young, attractive guy in this.
Yeah, that's
Jafar's supposed to be like an aging, angry guy.
Maybe he gets turned into that at the end. Maybe that's what's really bitter. Like, oh no, he's lost his hotness. But when the first images dropped this, like, oh, I'll see what Twitter has to say. Nothing was about any of the other actors apart from like, oh, they've cast an Arabian guy for Aladdin. That's very good. It's not a white guy. It's not Jake Gyllenhaal or something. And it's like, also, Hot Jafar. Nothing else. It's like, oh, I hate remakes. Hot Jafar, Hot Jafar, Hot Jafar, Hot Jafar. That's all it was.
There was a very funny sketch I saw this morning. It was this guy at his computer screen watching the Aladdin trailer. He was complaining that like all the CG was bad in the cave, complaining that Jafar was young, complaining all about Will Smith and the genie. And this other guy just looks over at him and goes, "You know this film wasn't made for you, right? This is a Disney film aimed at children. Why do you care?" And that just because I was really mad about the genie and everything like that. But then I watched that sketch and I went,
Oh yeah,
that's kind of true.
Yeah.
Why do I care?
I think I'll enjoy it because they usually are good. The Disney movies usually.
I probably won't see it.
Oh, I'm definitely not going to see it. Like, I have absolutely no interest in this.
I don't know.
Unless they bring back Gilbert Gottfried just as a parrot, like just some kind of cameo for 5 minutes. I just want him in that film.
Who's voicing the parrot?
I don't know, but I know who's voicing the cave. It's the same guy who does Megatron's voice.
Very nice.
So in the first trailer, I heard it like, ooh, I like where this is going because they didn't show anything in the first trailer. They showed the music, the bird, and the desert, which is the problem in this trailer I found, which I mentioned earlier. The CG at the very beginning, when they're showing just Jafar standing in the desert, looks really soundstagey. But then you see the CG of the palace and the buildings. They look fantastic. But I don't know why for that one shot it's a bit...
Maybe just some touch-up work.
Yeah, the whole thing needs some touch-up work. But the carpet looks good.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Jack, on the carpet?
Yeah, the carpet looked fine. I was like more like.
Yeah, we're
focused
all
on
looking at Will Smith, looking back at us in this weird like, oh, you're very blue. Very muscular as well, aren't you?
Anyway, hashtag not my genie. Next trailer.
Joke of the podcast.
Next trailer is Tolkien.
Tolkien, yeah.
It's kind of a biopic based off J.R.R. Tolkien.
I like how they've gone with this.
Author of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
And loads of other stuff.
And loads of other stuff, but that's obviously what he's famous for.
It's not going to be a whole film about the other books he wrote.
Because there is a lot of stories and I wouldn't say conspiracies, but not confirmed ideas about Tolkien that Lord of the Rings is based loosely on his time in World War One when he was a soldier.
I can kind of see that.
And also his like PTSD affected how he wrote it and stuff. This isn't confirmed. This is what people think and kind of like a fan theory. But this film seems to be going that way with it in kind of a biopic way, showing him and his friends in the war together as this fellowship.
That gave me chill. I don't know what it was, but when I heard that, it's like, oh.
Yeah. But yeah, you see a couple of things in this trailer which link it to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and other things. There's a part where he's watching his wife dance in the garden, which is like a prominent moment in a short story based in the Lord of the Rings universe. I forget what it's called, but it was released like 2 or 3 years ago actually. They like found it and restored it and released it. Another moment at the end of the trailer in the fire and the fog of the trenches, you see the Balrog's face.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
cool.
That's what I really liked about it was every now and again you just get those little glimpses of the old films or like the monsters in the smoke. I thought it's like a biopic where they're bringing in his world into it. That's
so
what I really
you saw
loved about this.
what he saw. So yeah, it should be interesting finding out more. I'm not sure how based in fact it is. Finding out more about Tolkien's life and his time in the war and how that influenced him.
I really like Nicholas Hoult
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's really blue eyes. I can't tell if that's his natural ones or they've put it in for film's sake, but I don't know. It's like it kind of sold me as an actor. I think he's not really impressed me with much he's been in that I've seen. He's just been like, eh. But I feel like this would be quite a good defining moment for him if he pulls it off quite
Possibly.
well.
It's like a Fox original movie though.
Yeah, Searchlight. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like the first trailer or first thing I've seen about it, and it comes out next month.
Well,
Wait, does it?
It comes out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I imagine they're planning for it not to make a lot of money.
It probably won't. I'm not sure whether it's even going to cinemas. It might be like on Fox TV channels.
Oh, it could be one of those like direct to their streaming service stuff.
Maybe. I'm not sure. None of that's fact. I'm not sure. I just haven't heard a lot about this.
No, I didn't until you sent me the trailer to look at today.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it.
But yeah, love Lord of the Rings, love The Hobbit. Want to find out more about Tolkien. I love The Hobbit, the book, not the films.
I was worried then. It's like, do you really like GoPro footage inside a barrel?
No.
Okay.
If I ever seriously say I like the Hobbit films, please end me.
I'll hit you with this microphone.
Yeah.
Ow.
Ow. Okay. Good joke.
Great joke.
So.
Did you hear that?
One more thing. Literally 2 hours before we started recording this podcast, the first trailer for Frozen 2 was released. I watched it. Did either of you two watch it?
I've not seen it yet.
No, I
or
haven't.
the ending of
yet.
Frozen.
I just like skimmed through it, but I haven't properly seen it.
So.
Tell me about it, Nick.
Two things to say. The animation is stunning. It looks amazing. Just from this trailer, I can tell this is going to be a really good piece of animation work. Not saying anything about story or characters, just the animation. Second, the first one was like, hey, look at this snowman, isn't it fun? From the tone of this trailer, not a single word is said in it, by the way.
Oh, that's cool.
It looks like this kind of dark thing about global warming and like Elsa battling global warming, which is kind of cool. But yeah, Frozen is overhyped, bang average in my opinion, bang average Disney film. But Frozen 2 might be good.
Can't wait for the songs.
Yay, more songs.
I don't know who writes the songs for Disney, but they should really get more credit as a person. They know what to make and they know how to make it catchy.
Well, they can make anything and the kids will sing it until it's on the radio and all the parents know it as well. I don't think it's got anything to do with it being catchy. It's to do with everyone's heard it so much they know all the words and know how it goes. So it becomes catchy without being catchy.
Oh, fair enough. You got a friend. That's Pixar.
Yeah.
Disney Pixar. It's still good.
Still good. Okay, so that was this week's trailers.
That's trailers.
Shall we move on to our next film?
Yeah. Right. I'll try this one. So on to our final film of the podcast. Now, this is the film that me and Nick have both seen and will occasionally just drop into conversation because Jack hasn't seen it and it makes him very jealous. And we like it because it's dumb and it's fun. I like it. I just like all heist films. I'm a sucker for them. It's 2011 Ben Stiller's Tower Heist.
Starring Ben Stiller and Eddie Murphy.
Matthew Broderick.
My boy Ferris.
Casey Affleck.
Casey Affleck is in it. And
Michael Pena, who I mentioned last week.
yeah.
Oh, I couldn't remember the name of, but it's Michael Pena.
Michael Pena, the one who's
Alleged.
allegedly, not our words, allegedly a massive Scientology guy.
Yeah. Which is okay.
See?
Yeah, we talked about this last
We
week,
talked about
Jack.
it last week,
You
Jack.
were there.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Mhm.
But yeah, allegedly. I mean, there's nothing wrong about that. Apparently, they help people.
Allegedly, they help people.
Allegedly, they don't.
Let's
If
move.
you say allegedly and then you say something nice, does that
Let's
defamatory?
move away from talking about Scientology before we get in trouble.
Is that a gun? Oh my God, they're back.
They're back again.
That's a great joke last week.
So yeah, Tower Heist. Jack, tell me the basic plot and your favourite thing about Tower Heist. Go.
So the basic plot of Tower Heist is that some people get fired from this building that they work at, and the guy who owns the building stole everyone who works there their pensions, and so they plan to steal it back. And my favourite bit about it is when they're kind of spoilers. Should I say a spoiler bit?
No
Does
one
that
cares
matter?
about this. You can spoil it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Is when they're trying to get the car down a floor, like, and trying to get it.
Can you
and-
give that some context for the 100% of our viewers that have never seen this film?
So it turns out that the money that he stole isn't in cash. He made it into a solid gold car, and so they end up stealing the car because that's the only thing that they can actually steal to get their money back. And so they need to. It's in like the penthouse suite, and the guy who lives there is coming back, and so with like FBI agents, and so they need to get it like out of there. So they basically like drop it out of a window onto like the floor below. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It's a terrible movie, but it's fun.
Yeah. I don't know. This is the second time I've watched it voluntary. I don't know. I just kind of got into it again. So the other people, so Ben Stiller, just a quick mention things that Jack missed out. Ben Stiller is the building nice guy manager.
Yeah, it's a giant tower, which is a big hotel.
It's Trump's Tower.
Trump's Tower was used as the location for the film.
Because little insight into the mind of Donald Trump. If you film in one of his hotels, you have to film a cameo with him in it. You don't have to put that in the film,
But you have to
you
film
just
it.
have to film it. So they had to film a section with it, and I imagine they went, good, and cut. So that's just nowhere in that or in the DVD extras, I believe. You
know
can't
who
find it.
does have a cameo in this with no words? It's famous
Does he?
model Kate Upton.
Yes, she does.
She's just like hanging onto the arm of some guy at reception in one shot for about 2 seconds, and then it's gone.
Guess who's a famous actor dad who is also famous is in this film as well?
Who?
Robert Downey Jr. Sr.
Ooh.
He's the judge.
Ah, okay.
Cool fact. So yeah, anyway, Ben Stiller is this nice guy manager who is super nice to all these super rich people that live in the hotel and does all these nice things for them. Until Arthur Straw, who is played by...
Some guy.
Yep, I was going to say Michael Pena because I've only written down several actors' names. All right. So Arthur Straw, who is played by Alan Alders. That's an actor. He's probably very famous. And he steals all the pensions, like Jack mentioned, and the crew go up to him, which is Ben Stiller, Casey Affleck, who is like the new want-to-be general manager, sidekick guy, and Michael Pena, who is just a new kind of waiter guy. They go up there, and they get all fired, and that's why they start the heist.
They start this heist group with Eddie Murphy, who is... I don't know how he comes into it. Like, he's someone who speaks to Ben. He abuses Ben Stiller
on the way
street.
to Ben Stiller's house, and he always gets arrested. They're like...
So Ben Stiller's like, I'll ask this random guy to come and do a heist with me.
Literally why?
Okay. Yeah, but it's a heist movie. It's a comedy heist movie, so you know how it goes.
Yeah. I think Ben Stiller's not too Ben Stillery in this. He's not crazy. He's not like crazy.
Yeah, but Ben Stiller's never crazy Ben Stiller.
I think no. What I mean is like he's not
he
Night
always,
of the Museum. You know where he's like really in your face.
No, he always plays like the straight guy though.
Yeah, but he's also got that like unhinged. You know, he's a bit unhinged.
Yeah.
He's not very. Apart from that one bit where he beats a car with a golf club, he's not that unhinged.
I see. Yeah.
I think the comedy's more like off to other people for that unhinged kind of stuff. So Brett Ratner is the director of Tower Heist. Now, he's made some films.
He has made some films.
Some of them are Rush Hour, and some of them are X-Men Last Stand. And some of
the best X-Men.
Oh, he made something even better than that.
Excuse me, Jack. X-Men Last Stand, the best X-Men. Have you ever seen X2? Excuse me, what is this disrespect?
I think Jack went for a joke there, Nick.
I'm just gonna sit here quietly.
He also made... All right, I'm gonna give you guys some guesses. I'm gonna close the book so Nick can't see the answer. Can you guess the worst film ever made?
The Room.
As in...
No, that's watchable. But you couldn't even watch it. I'll
The
give
Last
you
Airbender.
I'll give you.
The Last Airbender. That's the only film I've ever not been able to watch.
I'll give you some other aspects about why it's the worst film ever made. The scriptwriters openly apologized for making it, and Brett Ratner directed it. It's Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's a Brett Ratner film. He nailed that one. Oh. Yeah, it's not good, that film.
Not good.
It's arguably, no, it's not. It's offensive, but to the eyes.
Yeah.
So some interesting things about. Actually, no. Nick, what was your favourite thing about Tower Heist?
My favourite thing about Tower Heist was...
What's Tower Heist?
Tower Heist. My favourite thing about Tower Heist was probably right at the end when it fades to black and the credits start coming up.
Oh, come on! You gotta love, a bit of Michael Pena in that, doing some fun stuff, saying some quips.
Yeah, it was. There was like
Casey
a few moments where I chuckled.
Casey Affleck's face, just to any reaction where he's like, "Ooh."
I do like Matthew Broderick, so anytime Matthew Broderick was on screen, I was having a great time.
You have your fan theory that it is in the Ferris Bueller universe.
Yeah, it's when Ferris Bueller's had to like move away from Chicago and change his name, and he's become this like down on his luck insurance person.
Well, it makes sense, he hacks the stock market, gets all that money,
yeah,
it crashes, he loses it all. It kind of makes sense.
That's what got me through this film. My headcanon being, how can I link this to Ferris Bueller?
But I love the whole. I'm just gonna say the ending, 'cause why not?
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird where the main character Ben Stiller actually goes to prison. You'd think he, like all heist films, they all get away scot-free. No, he takes the bullet so all of his other compatriots don't go to prison, because he's found the main bad guy's ledger, which has all his shady deals in it. So he still has to go to prison for about 3 years. And after that, you get the reveal of, did the gang get away with it? Did they get the money out? What did they do with the car? You don't know what's happened. And then the very last kind of shot is they're all on a roof, and they're on this pool that you see at the beginning, and the cover that you put on top of the pool slowly pulls back. And for some weird reason, and it's never quite explained how you can quite do it, if you really think about it, the car is submerged in this pool, and they
hid the car at the crime scene in a swimming pool.
Every time I see that ending, I still can't think how they got the car on the winch to go. Well, they got it all the way up, and then they got it over the top, and then dragged it into the pool. I don't know. But then they do a nice thing, which I thought was weird. Instead of taking all the gold themselves, melting it down, and then giving it to people, they just send people parts of cars.
Of the car. Like people, all the employees from the hotel are getting big packages in the post and opening them up in this montage, and they're pulling out like steering wheels and wheel rims just of pure gold and hunks of pipe.
Well, I guess if you want to argue why, Matthew Broderick's superpower in this film is he can basically calculate anything. There's a scene where he's trying to figure out how much the gold car is actually worth, and he figures it out, and it's like, it's exactly 10 million.
That's that Bueller magic.
That's that Bueller magic. And I guess you can say that I imagine he sat up there and just went, a piston. $4,500. And I just said that to that guy. He's taking a drink, ladies and gentlemen. May I give you this time to recommend you subscribe and like to this channel? I can't quite remember the name. I think it's Adam, Jack and Nick
Films.
I'll change that one day. But yeah, give it a subscribe, give it a like. Why don't you share it with all your friends and family?
Share it with your friends.
But not your family. Well, you could. It's up to you. Anyway.
So that was Tower Heist. Let's give it some obligatory, patented bargain bin out of 10 scores. Jack, how many golden steering wheels out of 10 would you give this film?
I give it a solid 6 golden steering wheels out of 10.
Nick, how many hidden safes in the wall out of 10 would you give it?
Probably about 4. Adam Dokhan of the Bargain Bin Podcast.
At FAMGC on Twitter.
How many Matthew Brodericks out of 10 would you give this film?
Oh, now he was quite big in this film. I would give it 6.83 Matthew Brodericks out of 10.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed.
So, that was the Bargain Bin Podcast.
That's the show.
For this week. This was episode 6. Remember, you can catch the uncut versions on YouTube at Adam, Jack and Nick's Films, the channel, or just search Bargain Bin Podcast. It should come up. You can email us at
the bargainbinpodcast@gmail.com.
Make sure to get in touch with Brayford Radio also, at Brayford Radio on Twitter and at Brayford Radio Station on Instagram.
Just tweet them saying the Bargain Bin podcast is the best film-based discussion show on Brayford.
Hashtag get out of here, Cinescope.
Hashtag Rumble in the Jungle.
Hashtag 1v1 me at Quick Make a Film. Hashtag Ewan, what's his last name?
Ewan Glass?
Ewan Glass for Bargain Bin appearance 2019. Okay,
Yep.
That's the show.
That's the show again.
Jack, say goodbye.
Bye, British viewers.
Bye.
Bye. Before we cut, I don't know how much you're going to have to cut out because of this, so I'm going to give you some bonus facts to put in about Tower Heist.
Okay.
Just in case it doesn't run out. Ready? You might want some reactions to this. Okay, so Brett Ratner turned down making Horrible Bosses, which I quite like, to make this film, so I'm glad he didn't do that, with Charlie Day in it.
I love Charlie Day.
Horrible Bosses is actually, it's a fairly alright kind of
No,
thing.
I wasn't there.
Horrible Bosses 2, same thing. But Casey Affleck was actually excited to make this film because he was like, everyone who always hires me for serious roles, can I do a comedy? And he's like, do you want to do something with Ben Stiller? It's like, yeah, I'll do something with Ben Stiller. Originally, this was going to have an all African American cast, and it was quoted as being the African American Ocean's 11, starring such people as Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle. But they all said no.
Oh.
And they
Except Eddie Murphy.
Except Eddie Murphy, and they all had to rewrite it for Ben Stiller to have a role. There's 500 visual effects in this film.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's all to get Matthew Broderick in. He's actually not real at all.
Matthew Broderick isn't real.
Yeah, it's a whole CGI
You
character.
heard it, allegedly.
And final fact of Tower Heist, for fans of the mob film Goodfellas, the bar, which is featured after Ben Stiller's character.
Is it the bar from Goodfellas?
It is the bar from Goodfellas.
Is it the bar the Goodfellas own, or is it the bar where they go and he gets his shine box?
Yes.
Okay, Adam's not seen Goodfellas. It's fine. I love Goodfellas. Go watch Goodfellas instead of these terrible films.
No, watch these and Goodfellas.
Just watch Goodfellas.
And when you're in CX buying these DVDs, tell them we sent you.
Yeah.
Look into the cashier's eyes, look him dead in the eyes, and say, the Bargain Bin podcast, tap the table 3 times. He'll know.
They'll know. Only the Lincoln store will know.
Yeah, well, we're trying to branch out.
Yeah.
If you do it in GameStop, that's the American version, isn't it? GameStop do like cheap DVDs and stuff?
I don't know. They'll probably...
I don't think so.
Come on, Jack. What's the American version?
Yeah. That's why you're here.
I mean, Walmart do like a $5 bin.
If you go into Walmart and you scream the Bargain Bin podcast, there'll be some men in big like security jackets. They'll take you away, but they'll take you to a special place where you can see us perform. Well, you can see Jack perform live.
I want to see Jack perform live.
It's his special show he does. He does like an hour stand-up routine.
We've got an audience now.
We have got an audience now.
Okay, that was it. That was the extra facts.
You can chuck that in.
I'll chuck them in. Okay, we're done. Jack, stay on air.
Yeah, we're
you
coming
might
in,
need
Jack.
you might need not visual, audio confirmation for like signing off on photos or something.
Okay.
Okay, let's shut off the recording.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the uncut version, guys.
Yeah, uncut version on YouTube. That's what you're listening to.
I'll figure out a way of putting it on iTunes one day, guys. I promise. So you don't have to listen to it on YouTube.
pay for it.
No, you can do iTunes for free apparently. Ewan was telling me about it.
And no, you can do Spotify for free as well. You just need to apply.